What's going on? What's going on? What's going on, man? It's your boy Jeremy. Hey, back with another episode of No Huddle with Jeramy and Hassan, man. Hey, man, how you feeling today, bro?
Hey, what's going on, party people? It's Hassan the African. I'm bittersweet. I ain't gonna lie. I'm glad we talking about the NFL and not college football, and I'm gonna leave it at that.
Yeah. I saw it, bro. I saw it, man. I hate it for y'all because I was rooting for y'all, to win that conference. Still got a chance, but taking that L today to Michigan like the way y'all did, definitely gonna push y'all back a little bit. But I think y'all gonna bounce back, man. I definitely think y'all gonna bounce back.
I appreciate that.
Shout out to Yusuka Knight, man. What's going on, Yusuka? He said, I'm still proud of my Braves. Yeah. Good thing we're not talking about. Good thing we're not talking about baseball right now.
That too,
Phillies, the Phillies taking it to us. I think they won today a big win in Philly. They got both wins in Philly.
Mm-hmm.
I think we play. I think we play back in Atlanta maybe tomorrow or Monday. I'm not sure, but The good thing we're not talking about baseball right now. Yusuka Knight also said they will be fine. I knew that was coming. It's very hard to repeat as a champion, but they will still win some more as time goes on. Hopefully, man. Hopefully, Philly looks like they're doing the same thing that Braves did last year.
Yeah,
they came in as that number one, that last seed, and they snuck into the playoffs. And right now they looking like they're that team to beat. I think that they evenly match with the Atlanta Braves, but I just feel like right now they just playing with more passion, more enthusiasm. Just they more motivated. I think the Braves kind of relaxing on last year, and I think they got hit in the mouth. And now you got to go back and win every game in Atlanta and try to win every game moving forward. But that's gonna be hard to do, man. What's going on?
So awkward moment. They actually did lose the series, so they're going to do it next year. Yeah. So the NLDS is, I believe, best out of 5. You're thinking of more like that. So this next round, the championship series
conference.
and the World Series is best of 7. So
they win. Well, hey, shout out to the Philadelphia Phillies. I know a lot of my wife's family is gonna be calling me because I was talking a lot of trash before the series, and that my mouth get me in trouble. My mouth.
I get it, bro. I get it.
But at the end of the day, they know I'm Atlanta everything. So anytime Atlanta and Philadelphia is playing each other, we always don't let the Eagles and the Falcons play each other. That's when I hear it the most. But but it is what it is. Hey, shout out to the Phillies. Hopefully they go and win it all for me.
Well, I'm a Yankees fan, so I know.
You're a Yankees fan.
I should be a Phillies fan, but we ain't got enough time to unpack that. I'll just say Derek Jeter's my favorite player, bro.
I think you just don't like Philadelphia. Because every team you root for is outside of Philly.
20-second timeout. I'm still I don't watch hockey, but I'm a default Flyers fan. I'm definitely a big Sixers fan. So you know what I mean. I root for the Eagles technically. You know what I'm saying.
Okay.
But Rams is where my heart started with football, with NFL.
Okay.
Football. And I rep Penn State, man.
That's not in Philly.
I'm good in the 2-on-5. I'm good.
Okay.
I just got taste outside of it. That's all.
We'll give you that. We'll give you that. Then Yusuka Knight said, "What's up?" And then he also said, "Alabama game crazy." I know. Tennessee was, doing their thing. Alabama came back for halftime, so I don't know what that score is now.
It's currently 35-34. Alabama going into the fourth quarter. So
Alabama up by 1.
35-34.
Okay. Man, Tennessee making me scared to play them in the next 2 weeks. Georgia got to play them in the next 2 weeks.
They might be
Yeah. So hey, shout out to Yusuka Knight, man. Appreciate you for joining us.
And the info with the deets.
Yeah. I'm sorry. We sorry. We had to start a little late today. We probably gonna give y'all a new time because 1 o'clock for me and my household just ain't been working, man. So sorry for the inconvenience that everybody may have been caused by us coming on a little late. But at the same time, we just gonna still give y'all this content, man. So y'all definitely keep keep supporting the channel, man. Fan of Atlanta 365. Go to YouTube, man, and go ahead and subscribe if you haven't already, man. Don't forget to tell your mama, tell your daddy, tell your sister, tell your brother, tell your dog, tell your cat, tell your snake, tell your rat, and throw in your Nittany Lion if you have one, because Michigan got one. Hey, I gotta do it. I gotta do it, bro.
Hey,
I gotta do it.
It be like that sometimes. We just got to shake it off and go get the rest of these wins. We got win out now. That's all.
Yeah. And then who knows? You may go to that conference championship game, and and things can change. But yeah, so we just want to welcome y'all to another episode of No Huddle with Jeramy Hassan, man. We love this show, man. I hope y'all loving it too. It's fun making these topics. It's fun debating these topics. So we just gonna keep that thing rolling for y'all. But y'all just keep tuning in every Saturday. Catch us live. I got some news. We have discontinued nephew, uncle nephew right now. We will resume back next season. Because it was just hard for me to keep balance with all these shows. I'm already struggling with keeping No Huddle up to date. So we was like, hey, let's go ahead and just call it a quits this year. We're gonna resume back next year and we're gonna come back strong. Right now, I'm just trying to focus on No Huddle and trying to get us popping right now. So definitely Friday, I'll be free. Hopefully I can put up some videos for Fan of Atlanta 365. I haven't been able to put up any content yet, but definitely got a lot of stuff to talk about. But so we're gonna go ahead and jump into it. Unless you got something you want to, you got something to say.
I'm ready to go. Let's get it.
Okay, let's get it. So, like I said, we got some topics for y'all today. So we're gonna start off with this topic. Is the new NFL Pro Bowl format good for the NFL? What you think, man?
So me, myself personally, I like it. I think it's good. Because it's no secret the game has been kind of lackluster. And I think they're taking a page from the NBA in the sense of, okay, because their game is lackluster too. Nobody really cares about the Pro Bowl. Nobody really cares about the All-Star game, NBA All-Star game at least. But there are other things that lead up to the game that people care more about, like the three-point competition in the NBA or the slam dunk competition. So to have other things and make it more of a spectacle and a celebration than to just give us a mediocre product that we have to look forward to every year. I like the moves. I like the fact that they're taking it back to like nostalgic kind of games, because I believe one of the games they're gonna have is dodgeball, and instead of it being like a full game, you're gonna have it be more of like a 7-on-7 kind of format. Now it will suck in if you are an offensive lineman, for example, or like a fringe player. I don't know how that's gonna work for them, so they may be at a disadvantage. But I'm not opposed to seeing like a couple plays where an O lineman takes the snap and drops back. We've never seen that. So there's a lot of ability for them to make it into more sports entertainment than just flat out sports. And I'm here for it. What say you, my good sir?
Before I get going, Yasuka Knight, you hit a soft spot right now. You hit a hard spot for me. What's your thought on the Tom Brady sack? You know what? I'm not even gonna talk about this Tom Brady sack right now. Maybe that's a topic we could talk about next week or something. About a lot of these sacks. That's been happening, and I don't even want to get into the Atlanta Falcons because this show is about talking about the NFL, not focusing solely on the Falcons. I appreciate your question, but that'll take us down a whole nother rabbit hole. And
we don't want to go in the sunken place.
But if I had to give you my quick thought, some BS. It was some BS, and they know it. Took a win from us. I'm not saying we would have won, but I think we could have had a chance to win. That's what you took from us, and I just felt like it was some BS. So, just not to give you my quick answer. It was BS. But getting back to this Pro Bowl format. Question.
Answer.
when the last time we seen a Pro Bowl? I just don't feel like we had a real Pro Bowl in like years. It's been years since we had a real Pro Bowl. For me, the NFL, I get it. NBA, they went to a new format. The slam dunk contest is not even really the slam dunk contest no more. I feel like the stars don't slam. They don't join the contest. Whereas that's what made the slam dunk contest so amazing, because you had Michael Jordan, you had Dominique Wilkins, Spud Webb, all those guys. They would participate in the slam dunk contest. Right. LeBron James never participated. It's a lot of stars that never participated, and I feel like it died out. So maybe the slam dunk contest is no longer, especially after last year. That was trash. But I like the way the NBA did it. They kept the structure of the NBA All-Star Weekend. But at the same time, I do miss the West versus the East. I do miss having a real 3-point shootout and not just making it about. I just felt like they made it where now you're making threes from the half court line, and it's just a lot for me. But when we look at the NFL to me has become, I think the NFL has always been more competitive in nature than the NBA. But at the same time, the Pro Bowl used to be the thing that people look forward to seeing, because you got to see the AFC versus the NFC best versus the AFC best, and players actually competed. Right. It was almost like a regular game. Like they look forward to playing, and it meant something to be on the Pro Bowl team. It meant something to have that Letterman's jacket that they used to get. I know it's the All Pro team, the John Madden, but I felt like we kind of got away from like the I think that the players in today's time, they don't really care about the game no more. They care more about the business. They care more about protecting themselves, and I get it, but at the same time, like, come on, man, you make a lot of money. Also in the Pro Bowl, they used to, like, whatever team won got the money, the other team got a lesser amount of money. But I felt like now these players, they looking at it as a business, like it's a business move for them. Like some of them don't even want to be a part of the Pro Bowl. They just say, hey, as long as I made the All Pro list, that's all I care about. But for me, I don't really care for the new format. It gets away from what I love. I think I like to see players go out there and compete, and I think this new format just allows. It's just I get it. You're trying to make the game safe. I don't mind the flag football if that's what you want to do. Right. Even though I don't want to see professional players playing flag football, but it's fun. I think a lot of times this new generation, they care more about fun than actual, the game. But I feel like the new format kind of compromises what the NFL was about. I think it kind of like, yes, I understand there's going to be a shift, things evolve, but I think some stuff you have to keep intact. Like the United States has changed a lot. We have made a lot of changes over time from the beginning all the way into now, but some stuff is left untouched. You may kind of make some tweaks here and there, but for the main thing, for the foundation is already set, and we don't really touch that too much. And I feel like the NFL is starting to become more of like a fun league. Like, oh, let's use Nickelodeon for the Thursday night football and just throw slime on the field. Like, I don't want to see that. I want to see these players go out here and compete. I want to see a game. I don't want to see a kid being able to say, oh yeah, it look like I'm watching Nickelodeon. Like, I don't care about that. And I just feel like the NFL Pro Bowl is no longer a game that people are interested in. It's like now it's going to be fun. Of course, you're going to probably get some views in the beginning, but you're also going to lose a lot of fan base, especially if the games just don't go the way they expect it to go. Like, it looks fun, it seems fun, maybe for the fans and the younger fans, but I feel like for the old people, for the older people, my generation and beyond, I feel like it's kind of like, maybe I'm just that old guy who just like, now I'm becoming my parents.
That's a grumpy old man.
At the same time, man, I look forward to seeing the best of the best go against each other. And I just feel like that no longer exists with this new format. I think it's good for the NFL business-wise moving forward, because you'll get a new like, we care about TikTok, we care about things going viral. And so these kids, they look at, the NFL, they doing fun stuff. I get to see the superstars make tricks and all that. But if you're a football fan, for me, I'm a true football fan, and I like to see players compete. I don't like to see them out there having fun. So to me, I don't like it.
I got you. So it sounds like the two of us, because I'm looking at it, you're looking at it from the product aspect. Like you're saying you're going to give us a lesser product, which is going to potentially drive away the core audience, which are like you and I, in the sense of like we are diehard football fans. We are fans of the competition side, the competitive side. You know, that's what draws us to the game, and that's why we believe the NFL is probably the best league because of the level of competition and parity and things. For me, I'm looking at it, I guess, more from the business side, where they're aware, like, yes, the NFL is super competitive, and that's what draws the core fans like you and I. But I think the NFL realizes, like, this product is not working, even for the core audience. So we have to change it, and we'll just try this out and see if it could be something that revamps it, because it clearly something needs to change. Whether you're on your side of the fence where it's like, what we're getting is a lesser product, although I agree with you, or they keep it the same. Something has to change. And I think I respect that you're not a fan of the changes that they're making. But yeah, I'm open enough to say, hey, it could work. And now that I think about it, a few of those other things have happened in the past, because like they used to have QB drills, but I don't remember the last time watching that. Do you?
Yes.
I think what they're also doing is saying, hey, we've been so focused over the past X amount of decades, just solely focusing on this game, and this game has diminished over the years, but we've had all of these like related pieces that have always kind of been there. QB drills have been there even far back as Dan Fouts and them.
Yes, I love that. I love that. The QB drills, the drills. I like that because I remember that was something that we used to see the quarterbacks throw it as far as they could or hit targets. I love that. I don't like the flag football. I don't like that players aren't really competing at a high level when it comes to the Pro Bowl no more. That's what I don't like.
And they're the apex of, and if you're thinking of football, these are the people you want to be playing at the highest level. I get that.
Yes.
But I think they're looking at it like, all right, and I have no facts to back this, but they've always had those related pieces, but they've never really shined a light on them. And this with this new TV deal, they're looking to find different ways to make more money. Yeah. And I think part of what they're going to do is enhance, the platform on those related pieces, like the QB drills, and all that, but inject some corny, kiddie fun, like the dodgeball thing, which is part of it. And I realize that's the part that you can count me out, as well as the flag football. But I think they're like, hey, well, like you said, we can go viral. We can create traffic. We can boost revenue and TV dollars by having this. And then maybe potentially make the game a little safer, but also maybe a little enjoyable. I'm open enough to see, because all I know is, and we can agree on this, whatever side of the fence you're on, this current product that we've been seeing over the past, let's say, 10 to 15 years, that ain't it.
Well, I'm gonna tell you where it veered off for me. When they start making it where players can, no matter what conference you come from, you could just you get two captains. It could be Deion Sanders versus Michael Vick, and they pick their team. I don't like that.
Yeah, that works for basketball. That doesn't work for
football. I feel like that's where it fell off. When you had the best coach in the NFC, the best coach in the AFC go against each other, the best players from each conference team up, and they try to see who's gonna take the crown. Is it gonna be the AFC? Is it gonna be the NFC? I think for me, that's what I enjoy. I enjoy being able to see the best players from my team, your team, they team, get the team up, because we never get to see them play together. We get to see them compete against each other, but we never got to see, Joe Montana and Jerry Rice team up with Deion, Michael Irvin with Joe Montana at the quarterback and Jerry Rice. Like, we never got to see that. And I think, in today's time, I think, yes, I understand it's all about fun and all that good stuff, but maybe I'm too serious when it comes to football. But
I get it.
To me, I just enjoyed that, and I feel like the players in the NFL, just like the NFL, but mostly the players, they looking at these sports now as more of a business for them. It's more about branding instead of like having a passion. We don't really develop stories anymore. Back in the day, like we didn't even have to live in those times, but we could always understand like stories that was told to us, legends about like Jerry Rice, like to see that he broke all those records, and still to this day, nobody have ever even came close to breaking those records. I just don't feel like we have those type of players anymore. We have more of, hey, I'm gonna make my money, and then if my career don't end the way I want it to end, then it is what it is. I made my money. But it's like, bro, it's more than the money. It's more than the brand. It's more than the business. It's also about carving your name in the greats. And I feel like players don't want to be the greatest no more. They just want to be the one that made the most money, that became more popular. And I just feel like the passion of the game is gone, man. It's compromised.
Now, it's funny. Yusuka said, like, he can't remember the last time he watched the Pro Bowl. For me, I think the last time I watched it, where I really paid attention, I was a young buck. I think it was like whatever year it was where they were going back and forth. I want to say it was either 2003 or 2004. This was so far back that Mark Bulger was the starting QB for the NFC for the Rams, but he was the starting. And they had this crazy comeback, and they were trading touchdowns back and forth, and it felt like you said, it felt like a shootout playoff game. And I think the NFC ended up winning that game. That was the last time I remember actually paying attention to the Pro Bowl, watching it start to finish.
I think the last time I watched it, and I knew it was competitive, was when Deion Sanders played with the Ravens. So that was a good amount of years ago. Last time I actually watched the Pro Bowl was when Matt Ryan and they had Julio Jones and Roddy White. At that time, that's when I think it was right before the Falcons went to the Super Bowl, but we had some good years. That was probably the last time I actually watched the Pro Bowl. But and I kind of watched one of the events last year. I saw Russell Wilson throwing the ball at the targets as they were moving. They had the little competition between like maybe like a DB and quarterback. Like I saw that, but I mean, to me, it was more of like, like growing up, you had Madden and then you had Blitz, NBA Live and 2K, and then you had NBA Streets. It's like, for me, the NFL and the NBA is becoming like the fun game where it's like, oh, you doing tricks, you doing all this, but it's like it's not really football. And so for me, that's I just don't like it, man.
I got you.
Yeah, it ain't for me. It's not for me. Yeah. So. And I also used to like when they get the jerseys, they had the blue jersey, the red jersey, you wear your helmet. Like,
I get it. We done hit a sore spot for you, brother.
I'm just not a fan of. I do understand it's gonna be better for business. It's gonna make a lot of money, it's gonna probably get a lot of views, but over time I feel like when you look at it in the future, I think it's just not gonna be the same, man. It's like I said, I didn't live in the 60s, the 70s, and the 80s, and I didn't get to watch football during that time. But the 90s and the 2000s, the early 2000s, we remember like players. We remember like Pro Bowls. We remember like, oh man, he made the Pro Bowl, and we got him on our team.
Carving legacies. Now I get what you're saying.
That was like, we just care about the brand. We just care about, hey, is this good for my business? If not, then I'm just not gonna show up. I'm thankful to be on the Pro Bowl, be mentioned as one of the best, but I'm not really going to the Pro Bowl. I'm not going to participate. And I just feel like that's what you're opening it up to, because the stars are not going to want to play. They're not going to play flag football. They just going to be like, well, I let an upcoming star, that want to get his name and want to get his brand out there. I feel like it's going to be like the NBA. The slam dunk contest was the stars playing in the slam dunk contest. Now it's like dudes who you never even heard of, and they make their name based off the slam dunk contest.
Right. I get what you're saying.
So, yeah. So that's me, man.
All good.
Suka Knight said same thing with the NBA too. Yeah, definitely. But I feel like it's fun for the NBA because, like I said, they still have those events that they normally used to have. It's just it's not the same no more because the 3-point contest became bigger than the slam dunk contest, and the game you can see it in the game. Nowadays, you get more oohs and ahs based on how deep you can make your three. But if you dunk it, I mean, yeah, you can still get that excitement, but you got to dunk on somebody. It can't just be an in-dunk game. It got to be something spectacular. And, back in the day, people wasn't shooting threes like that. So the 3-point contest, it was cool, but the dunk contest is what everybody came to see. Right. And then also people came to see the NBA All-Star game. Right. But now it's like I don't mind it for the NBA because the NBA always kind of been fun anyway. But football, it's like you can't make football too fun.
And I think going back to some you were mentioning, and for me, it would probably be my last point. I think it works a little bit better for the NBA because with the NFL, it's the quintessential team game. Mm-hmm. Like in the All-Star games for the NBA, one player can literally take over a game and win a game for you. That can't happen. That's so rare to happen in the NFL. Yes. It's virtually almost impossible because as great as Tom Brady is, he does not play defense. Right. As amazing as Aaron Donald is, he's not on the offense. Mm-hmm. And as great as Devin Hester was, he was primarily a special teams legend. Like that's where he made his name. Yeah, he technically played wideout, but come on, man. Like let's be honest.
But when he made the Pro Bowl, he would have went in as a specialist. A return
specialist.
He's returning kicks against the other best specialists.
Exactly. Where, for example, like with the NBA All-Star game, it works because again, you have it's way more player centric than team centric. So having LeBron James, if he's the leading vote getter, and whoever the other leading vote getter being captains and picking. That works because that's like a pickup basketball style of play. That does not translate to the NFL. Not to mention the oohs and ahs, they don't come from, at least from an NFL standpoint, they don't come from like when Tracy McGrady threw himself a ooh and then slammed it. Like that's the oohs and ahs from the NFL comes from a quarterback throwing a deep pass, you know what I'm saying?
I hear you, but can't see you.
But yeah, see, the struggle is real.
Sorry, guys, we're having technical difficulties. Pretty sure my guy gonna join back.
Can y'all hear me?
I hear you now, but still can't see you.
Yeah.
Probably pretty sure he's gonna come back in. So we're gonna give him a little quick minute. Okay, can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay, you back now.
We back.
Sorry about that, everybody. We, technical difficulties. You was probably about to say something that was gonna be so great that they didn't want you.
They didn't want me to win, man, but God did. But nah, I was gonna make the point that the part of the draw, because it's such a team game, is seeing not individual players take over the game, but individual players working as a team to take over a game.
Right.
Like the AFC's team taking over or beating the NFC's team. Like,
yes,
that was more important. Whereas, like, in the NBA with their All-Star game, at the highest, you wanted to see if Magic Johnson would take over the game, or if Jordan would, or if Kobe or LeBron. The score wasn't really important. But back in the day, the Pro Bowl, the score was important. And the team impacted that score more so than anything else. Now we don't care.
Yeah.
And
the NBA, the All-Star weekend is in the halfway of the season. So you still got a good amount of games before you can make it to the playoffs. Whereas the Pro Bowl is normally the weekend right before the Super Bowl. And there was a time where I think they used to have it after the Super Bowl, so that the players from the Super Bowl could play in there. They made the team. Right. But nowadays, these players, they'll make the team, but they'll be like, "Yeah, I'm just not gonna come." And come on, man, like,
that ain't it.
I think we done beat this. I think we done beat this dead horse.
Yeah, we can put this one to bed.
yeah. But it is what it is, bro. Like I said, it's good for business, but it's just not good for fans like me.
Feel that. Tell them how you really feel.
Right. So we're gonna go ahead and get to this next topic. Like I said, we apologize for the technical difficulties that's out of our control. So we hope that y'all continue to just keep supporting us like y'all been doing, man. We appreciate the support. We appreciate the views. Like, share, comment on these videos if you got something to say, because we always gonna comment back. Don't forget to go to YouTube right now. Subscribe to Fan of Atlanta 365. Catch us live every Saturday. We'll definitely have a better time for y'all once we kind of talk about that. But definitely Saturdays you can catch us live talking about debating these sports topics as they come. But so we're gonna go ahead and get to the next topic. We think it's gonna be a good one. Definitely put it in the chat. Let us know who y'all think, because we want y'all to interact with us. We appreciate the interaction, but we really want y'all to interact on this one. So we got the next topic is the top 10 NFL power rankings based on right now. Hey man, how you want to start it off? Do you want to go? We're gonna definitely go from 10 to 1, but do you want to alternate, or do you want to give your 10, or how you want to do it? Top 5 first? I mean, bottom 5. How you want to do it?
Let's alternate, starting from 10, because every time we do it, it's like give and go. Like, or you'll start yours, or you'll do yours, and vice versa. Let's alternate.
Okay.
Go bar for bar on this one.
All right, bet. So I guess I'll start it off.
There you go. I like
number 10 for me. Number 10 for me is a team that people probably not gonna agree with. I just feel like they're overrated because they have won more than they lost, and it's also a team that probably should have lost more than they won. Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I just don't feel like they're as strong as people are trying to portray them to be. They're not top 5. They're not top 3. I think that they are top 10, because right now, even though they got away with this one, Tom Brady is still Tom Brady. The defense is legit. But I just don't feel like they're as strong as people are trying to make them out to be. I think, we always gonna say, oh, Tom Brady giving them a chance to go to the Super Bowl. But for me, I think the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are number 10 on my list.
So you choosing violence and chaos?
I'm choosing violence because they took a game from me.
You know what's crazy? I'm with you, brother. I also have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers as the 10 team, and it's largely for a lot of the reasons you mentioned. Tom Brady is still there, but they're clearly not at full strength. And they very easily could be 2 and 3.
Yes.
You know what I mean? If not,
right.
1 and 4 or what have you. Like there are a couple games where they squeak by. But because that defense, like you said, that is a championship caliber defense.
Yes.
And because it's possible for them to get some pieces, either from them coming back from injuries and things like that. And again, they're battle tested. They have a veteran coach who's not going to be rattled by any of this. And they're in a inferior division, for lack of a better word. So all of those things being equal, I agree with you. Number 10, the Bucs. Would you like me to start down 9, or you want?
Yes, sir. We alternate.
Right. So I really hate that I'm listing this team, but they do deserve to be there. My number 9 pick is the 49ers. And they're a very similar team. Like they've won more than they've lost technically, but again, that defense is legit. For now, they're in technically an inferior conference because none of the teams in the NFC West are performing at a level that people would expect, including the supposed class of the division, my LA Rams. So with all of that being said, and the fact that they have a championship caliber defense, they're pretty much the West Coast Buccaneers at this point. Championship caliber defense, The only thing that's different between them and the Bucks is that they don't have a Hall of Fame quarterback. And a quarterback that very recently was holding a clipboard.
Benched. Right.
And he was only he was able to just come in because he knows that offense and he's been there for a while. If they would have had a lesser, like let's say their backup was like a Mitch Trubisky, they might be in the bottom half of teams, even with that kind of defense. But nonetheless, that's my number 9 team. What say you, sir? Who you got for number 9?
My number 9 is Green Bay. Green Bay, number 9. Yes, Aaron Rodgers have been able to, to win with nothing, and I mean, he making some meals with just different stuff that don't supposed to go together. But at the same time, I do see a drop off with the Green Bay Packers. Aaron Rodgers is not the same Aaron Rodgers that we have known him to be, and of course he's getting older. But I also feel like the Packers just don't really have that oomph no more. They don't really have they're not the class of the NFC anymore. I think the defense is they can give you some games where they show up and you thinking like, oh man, they got Clay Matthews must be back. But then they also have those games where you like, okay, like the Giants. I mean, they just lost to the Giants. They barely beat the Bucks. The Bucks had a chance on the goal line. If Tom Brady hiked the ball before the delay of game, maybe who knows? They may not even be 2. They may not be 3-2 today. But I just don't feel like the Green Bay Packers is that dominant team no more. So I got them number 9, man. They just not the same for me no more.
I respect that.
Number 8, I got, to tell you the truth, I'm gonna switch. You kind of changed my mind. San Francisco was number 5 on my list. I'm switching them to number 8 now. I just feel like yes, they have a winning record. But at the same time, that defense, like you said, legit. One of the best linebackers in the league, Fred Warner. You got the Bosa boy on one side. They got a legit defense. Offensively, I think Deebo Samuel is not the same how we have seen him with a lot of rushing yards. He's more available in the passing game now than he was before. But at the same time, I know what I'm getting out of Deebo. He's a baller, bro. He's a younger Cordero Patterson with more speed and more elusiveness. But Jimmy Garoppolo, I actually like Jimmy Garoppolo. I felt like the San Francisco 49ers made a mistake putting Trey Lance in the starting position before the season started. I felt like Jimmy Garoppolo should have been the starter either way it went. But they decided they wanted to go into, they wanted to go new. But Jimmy Garoppolo, I mean, he took you to the Super Bowl, he took you to the playoffs last year, took you to the conference championship last year. Right. I think they lost to the Rams, right?
Yes, they did.
You lost to the Rams. So I'm like, how do he just, now he's holding the clipboard for Trey Lance, So for me, I just felt like I said all the time, Kyle Shanahan gets in his own way. He could be a winning coach, but he gets in his own way every time because he wants to prove that he's smarter than everybody else, and he tends to get in his own way. But I feel like San Francisco, I think they have a legit team. I like Wilson out the backfield. I like all the running backs that they have. I think that Jimmy Garoppolo helps them play on another level, but I think that their defense is more solid than their offense. So I had to push them back. I did have them at number 5, but now I got them at number 8.
I dig that. I'll just say this. I think for the Niners, and more specifically Shanahan, I think he was expecting an Alex Smith, Patrick Mahomes situation. And when it backfires, like, ooh, dang. Because Alex Smith lost his job, but he was taking the Chiefs to the playoffs, and he got serviceable. Right, he got hurt. But they also felt like they plateaued with him. And they were expecting Trey Lance and his physical talents to translate immediately the way Patrick Mahomes did, even though Mahomes sat a year just like Trey Lance kind of did. But it didn't work.
And San Francisco traded up for Trey Lance. You traded all the way up to the number 3 spot. So
in it's kind of like
we got to put him on the field. And
in the same way that Mahomes was traded up for as well. The Chiefs, I believe they went up to number 10 to pick Mahomes. They did. So I think they were expecting that. It blew up in their face. And as a Rams fan who currently doesn't have a lot to root for, I love it.
You love it because it keep y'all in the race. Because you know San Francisco is going. If they win the division, y'all gonna eventually get y'all feet under y'all, and y'all gonna come back. But
that's the hope. Yeah. But moving on, because I get slandered the 49ers all day in my sleep. But my number 8, it's funny, you almost are making me switch, but I think I'm gonna hold. My number 8 is the Giants. They're a sneaky good team, and they're sneakily well coached.
Yeah.
And it's like they have it's not outside of Saquon.
Yep.
I really can't, because I hate Daniel Jones. I'll just be honest.
Yeah.
I hate him as a quarterback.
Right.
I think he is grossly overrated. I think he is on the same trajectory as like a Blaine Gabbert and whoever. What was the name of the other Jacksonville Jaguars quarterback a while ago?
Blaine Gabbert
and you know who I'm talking about. But he's on the trajectory of the previous Jacksonville Jaguars quarterbacks, not named Trevor Lawrence. He might give you some sizzle, but there's really no stake there.
Right.
But all of that being said, they win in spite of him because they're well coached. You can't name anybody off their defense because I can't. I would love for you to name one person off of their defense, but they somehow are. Say it again.
I can only name KT.
Okay, right. So, but they still are in games.
Yep.
And they win, and they're winning, and they won overseas. So this is This is a surprisingly well coached, seemingly balanced offense and solid defensive team that doesn't have a whole lot of stars. There's not a whole lot of star power. They just keep racking up wins. Now that could change this because we are technically in the first quarter of this NFL season.
Yes. Yes.
So we could be reassessing this, and they could be team number 30 or 32. But as of right now, I like what I'm seeing from the Giants, and I was surprised. I wasn't expecting to say that.
Well, you're number 17.
Right. I should probably do that to keep the order that I requested. So my number 17, you had a little bit lower or higher on your list. I'm going with the Packers only because they still have Aaron Rodgers and he's making something out of nothing. I agree with you that defense that was strong last year is hit or miss, and they've been missing a lot. They're the equivalent of like a home run hitting player that strikes out a lot. When they hit big. When they whiff, it's awful to watch. But with all of that being said, they still have enough to get it done because I do believe eventually the NFC North will be more of a key player in the NFC, but it's not this year. So because of that, and they really only have to deal with the Vikings, and yes, Detroit is coming up, but they're not there yet. They're probably a year or two away from really being a major player if they keep what they're doing and they keep doing it. But I say all that to say I like what I'm seeing from Aaron Rodgers. I don't expect this to be the way they're going to be the whole season.
Right.
And maybe I'm relying too much on the mystique and, the resume of Aaron Rodgers, but he's done it time and time again.
There's nothing wrong with that because it's Aaron Rodgers. I mean, just like Tom Brady, we're relying on Tom Brady past to determine.
However, Tampa Tom got 7 to
exactly.
He got 1 in like 16 years, but in Aaron Rodgers we'll trust.
Yes. So I got the Giants at number 7. And for me, I agree with everything you said. It hits it dead on the head. Like for me, the Giants are capitalizing on Saquon being healthy.
Yes.
Normally, by this time, Saquon would have been out, and then now the Giants are going down. And I also feel like the Giants defense, like you said, they don't have stars, but they're very well coached. You could just tell the difference. Daniel Jones can just be a game manager. He got Saquon in the backfield. All thing we ask you to do is just not turn over the ball. And he's been doing a good job at just being a game manager. And I think that's what's been helping them win a lot of these games. But in that division, they still got the Cowboys again. You got the Eagles coming. The Eagles gonna be coming through soon. So, I don't really see the Giants keeping this up, but as of right now, they number 7 for me. And I feel like they can go as far as Saquon can take them. And also, if they continue to win, who knows? Maybe they can make a chance to get Odell Beckham back in New York. We don't know.
Or trade for a better quarterback.
I mean, yeah, you definitely need a better quarterback because OBJ can't go from. You can't go from Matthew Stafford to Daniel Trash. I mean Jones. It's the difference, But at the same time, if Saquon is healthy and Odell Beckham get a good contract, maybe New York look good for him. If they winning, I think they got a chance. But I got the Giants at number 7. Just because I just feel like they can go as far as Saquon can take them, and like I said, they well coached. What's his name? Ben McAdoo wasted a lot of time with him. And I think that they cleaned house and they brought in the right guy. It seems like for the job. So they're a different team.
Right, indeed.
Very
impressive. I'm saying so far.
So number 6, I actually got the Baltimore Ravens. Lamar showed me. He been showing me something.
No, wait a minute. Time out. A genuine compliment.
A genuine compliment.
No slander. No
slander. Lamar has been showing me the questions that I had for Lamar this year. I said, can Lamar throw it in the tight windows? Can he throw the ball from the pocket? Can he not always rely on his running ability to save him? And so far, to me, he's one of the candidates for the MVP this year. And he's not only doing it with his legs, he's doing it with his arm. He's making and I don't know if you remember, we had this argument. I said, can he still give me 3,000 plus yards passing in the season and also 1,000 yards rushing instead of giving me 2,000 yards rushing and 2,000 yards passing in the season? I just don't feel like you can give me a balance of 2. You can still give me over 200 yards passing in a game and give me 100 yards rushing. And he's been able to do that every game for me. And so I've been seeing a different Lamar. He looks good. The weight looks good on him. But I also said he the regular season champ. I need to see you do it when it matters. So far, he been proving me wrong. But like I said, we still got time before I look crazy. But right now, he making me look a little silly right now.
I'm not mad at it. I'll take it. It's funny. So we're in agreement. In big trust, we trust. I have the Ravens at number 6, like you said, man. And then on top of it, because they really don't have competition. I mean, well, I'll say this. For right now, they're not seemingly having competition because we don't know what we're going to get from this Cleveland Browns team now that Deshaun Watson has completed his suspension.
I thought he had 12 weeks.
Oh, right. I apologize. So the first 5, he was banned from being at the facility and practicing, but he can practice, but he just can't play until
week 13. He won't be able to.
Week 13. So I'll keep with what I'm saying. As of right now, until at least week 13, we likely are going to see not a whole lot of competition. I don't know if the Bengals are quite there yet, and the Steelers have fallen off a cliff ever since J.J. Watt has been, since T.J. Watt has been out. So there's really not much there. You know what I mean? And again, they're doing it in a myriad of ways, but Lamar is the straw that stirs the drink.
Yes.
And I told you he was coming, but he's also had, and now it makes more sense in this sense, where is it possible that the Ravens organization purposely undervalued him with the contract offer they gave him to give him that extra oomph. Is it possible?
Pay the man. Pay the man. He earned it.
I agree with you. He should have been paid a long time ago. This man has earned his money. But yeah, is it possible that they did that just to stick it to him a little bit? Like, yeah, even though if that's the case, it's working in their favor, but they still should pay that man. He should not go through the midway point of the season without some sort of contract discussion, even though I know that he doesn't want to discuss the contract. But they should offer that man a contract in season. I don't care what he says, and it should be at the starting point. It should be not $1, not a penny less than what Deshaun Watson was offered.
Yes, of course.
Guaranteed.
At
the starting line of $230 million guaranteed. Period.
First of all, I never got in trouble.
Right.
I won an MVP, took this team to the playoffs. I mean, for me, it should have never even
steadily improved in every offensive way since he's been in the league.
I keep the Ravens relevant.
And he was an afterthought for Flacco. Like they said, we'll take a flyer. Right. It wasn't like they traded up to get him. I mean, they did, but it didn't trade up to go to number 10 like they did. Like the Chiefs did with Mahomes, where it's like, we want this guy, and he's our
got him at 31.
Right.
They got him at 32.
Right. And they traded up from the second round to draft him at 32. It wasn't that big of a reach.
Right. Shout out to my guy, Merrick Gallard, man, in the building. He said, what's up? Hey, what's up, Merrick? Been a long time, brother. Appreciate you for joining us, man. Hey, we appreciate the shout outs, man. Hey, Merrick, while you here, if anybody else is listening, right now we're doing our top 10 NFL power rankings. We started from 10. We're going all the way to 1. So, if y'all want to put that in the chat, let us know who y'all think, who y'all top 10, power rankings. Right now we started from number 10. So we're gonna keep the train going. But, if y'all want to put that in the chat, we definitely would be interested in seeing who y'all think. I think it's on you. We're on number 5 now.
Oh yeah, you're right. All right, so now we get into the nitty gritty, and I'm getting a little buyer's remorse because I think I should have swapped these two, but I have the Vikings at number 5. Number 5, they're a sneaky good team, although their quarterback is always questionable. Yeah, especially once you get closer to the playoffs. But I like what they're doing. Keep it up. That's all I got. Who you
actually, I got the Minnesota Vikings as well. I actually traded down from San Francisco being number 5. Minnesota moved down to number 5. I love Minnesota. I think the defense is better. And Justin Jefferson, of course, picking up where he left off at. Dalvin Cook running better. He's staying healthy. Adam Thielen, he's having okay. He's doing pretty good, but he's not where he once was. And I think Justin Jefferson is starting to become Justin Jefferson scene, and Adam Thielen is kind of like fading away. But at the same time, they're complete. I feel like they're not complete. I'm not gonna say they're complete, but at the same time, offensively, you got the running back. You got a solid quarterback, not the greatest quarterback, but a solid quarterback. You got 2 great receivers on the outside. Defensively, Minnesota to me have always had a pretty decent defense. I think throughout the years they always had a solid defense, and I just feel like they're looking better. Maybe they needed that new coach. Mike Zimmerman was holding them back for a couple of years, for a long time. And now that you have that new coach, I think they look better. They winning games. I think they beat Green Bay the first game of the season. Yes, they did. In Green Bay. So they've been beating some solid teams. So for me, I got Minnesota as well at number 5.
Right. I like it.
Okay. Oh, what did Merrick Gallard said? Merrick Gallard said I have Eagles at number 1. Okay.
Interesting.
Can't go wrong with that, right?
Man, that's a safe bet.
Number 4 for me, I got Dallas. Dallas at number 4. I feel like Dallas, although yes, they've been winning. but a lot of that been coming from their defense. The defense been getting a lot of turnovers, turning turnovers into touchdowns. The offense, the running, Tony Pollard, he's been running pretty solid. Ezekiel Elliott, he's getting you like 3 to 4 yards per pop. But at the same time, we already know it. We gonna get out of Zeke. He just gonna gonna be trash. He gonna give you a good little 3 yards, maybe break off for a good little 7 yards at the most. But he's not gonna give you the old Zeke. CeeDee Lamb is just not that guy. He's not the number one. I think he was eating a lot off Amari Cooper, and you starting to see he's turned into the juju. But Cooper Rush just been a game manager. You know, Dak Prescott got hurt and Cooper came in and he just been game managing and hoping that the defense show up. But Michael Parsons, he's that guy. He's just that guy. And he got the Dallas defense playing on another level. He's a one-man show, and that's what I see from him. But I got the Dallas Cowboys. I don't think they're gonna win a Super Bowl, but I definitely feel like they're looking good with that defense. So that's what I got.
I like it. I like it so much that I agree with you. I too have the Cowboys at number 4 for pretty much all the reasons you mentioned.
Yeah.
The only thing I do not trust Mike McCarthy as a coach. I never have. I never will. Number one. Number 2, like we both know, they when they're great or really good in the regular season, they're really good. But come playoff time,
yeah.
Murphy's Law just somehow always seems to find Dallas. Mm-hmm. So we'll wait, but we'll give them credit where credit is due. I agree with you. Right. Especially seeing them closer with the Rams, as you know, my team. It looked unfair. Like if it was one of those few games where it's like, okay, we are clearly overmatched in all phases of the game. Mm-hmm. Like it felt like a professional team playing against not even a practice squad team, but more so like a college team, and not a very good college team at that. Mm-hmm. So that was the thing that let me further know, like, okay, this defense arguably might be the best defense in the NFL. Mm-hmm. I can't really think of too many defenses I would want above their defense. But we'll really see what they're made of this week against the Eagles and everything they got going on. But I agree with you. So I have them at number 4. Moving on. It's funny that Merrick said he has the Bills at number 2. They are actually my number 3 pick. I have the Bills at number 3 for a myriad of reasons. But I think them losing to Miami the way they did, I think that was just a fluke. Every team has a situation where they get a fluke loss.
Yeah.
Unless you're the 72 Dolphins, you're going to have a fluke loss, or you're going to get a team where they play their absolute best one game and then they just fall off a cliff the next. I really think that was what happened with the Bills. Mm-hmm. Top to bottom, they're a buzzsaw. Mm-hmm. And I wouldn't be surprised if they're like 14 and whatever come the end of the season, provided no significant, injuries or anything like that. And, they're well coached on both sides of the ball, experienced coaching staff on both sides of the ball. Leslie Frazier might mess around and get a second look as a head coach because of how well he's coached this defense. Yeah. And they're proving that Von Miller deserved every red cent of the millions and years that they gave him in this new contract. That's my number. That's my number 3 team. What about you?
I like that pick. But my number 3 is Kansas City. Patrick Mahomes, of course, being Patrick Mahomes, he doing his thing. Travis Kelce is, he balling. 3 touchdowns last game. It's crazy, But at the same time, defensively, they're horrific. Like they just not the defensive team that they need to be. And when you got a high power offense, it's gonna save you unless you play another team that's high power. And I just don't feel like right now maybe the Buffalo Bills is probably the highest power team that can go out there and put up points with you. Right. But other than that, everybody else is more focused on more. I guess they better on defense.
Right.
But I just feel like Kansas City is strong enough when you got Patrick Mahomes, who can just do whatever he want to do, when he want to do it, how he want to do it. I feel like he's going to be the person that's going to be the game breaker. So I got Kansas City as the number 3 team just because of what Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce has been able to do in these past few weeks.
Gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Number 2 is on me. Okay.
Yeah, it's on me.
Mary also said I got Chiefs at number 3 as well. I agree with that one. Number 2 for me, I got the Philadelphia Eagles. I know the Eagles been doing their thing. They've been doing their thing, but a lot of that has been coming from the defense. The defense has been holding their own, and the offense have been doing a great job. I'm not going to sugarcoat that. Jalen Hurts has definitely proved to me that he's a franchise quarterback. Okay. But what I haven't seen a lot of is a lot of passing touchdowns. A lot of these has been, Jalen Hurts running around. He powering his way to get in the end zone, and I just don't know how long can that work. Also, when you playing a team that got a good defense like the Cowboys coming into this game, Michael Parsons, is he going to allow Jalen Hurts to do all that he's been doing in the past few weeks? So I do like the Eagles this year. I think that they're legit, but right now they my number 2 team. They got the wins. You can't right now. They're the only undefeated team in the NFL right now, and that's speaking a lot. They go 6-0, but at the same time, the schedule is about to get a little bit more tougher. So let's see. We keep that same energy. But right now, I got the Philadelphia Eagles as the number 2 team right now.
I see. I said. I said. Got the whole industry mad at me. I said. So my number 2 team is the Chiefs.
Okay.
And I struggle between them and the Bills for 2 and 3. Mm-hmm. And while the Bills have the better defense, clearly, I still believe that the Chiefs have the better quarterback, they have the better coach, and they have the better pedigree. And again, this is another measuring stick game that we're going into this week. That answer could change, but I still do believe that the Chiefs live rent-free in the Bills' mind. And until the Bills can prove to me, whether on the road, home, playoff, regular season, that they can go and punch that bully in the mouth and knock him out, I'm sorry. I still believe that the Chiefs have a psychological hold in a similar way that for a long time back in the day, it was said that the Patriots and Tom Brady had a psychological hold on those Indianapolis Colts teams and Peyton Manning. It's a very similar dynamic in the AFC, where I think the Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes and their coach Andy Reid have a huge rent space in the Bills' mind, and until they can, slay that dragon, I don't see them going past the Chiefs. And not to mention the Chiefs, they're doing it differently. Everyone expected Mahomes' numbers to drop off because he doesn't have Tyreek Hill, and all he does is just lead. He's one of the top leaders in all the statistical categories for quarterback.
Right.
After losing your longtime number 1 and your number 1 deep threat.
Question.
Answer.
Because I haven't watched a lot of Chiefs games this year. Right. How's Juju doing?
He's solid, but he's clearly not a number 1, and I didn't expect him to be a number 1. Passing, they still have Travis Kelce, who's leading all tight ends and touchdowns, and he's on pace for ridiculous numbers.
He had all 3 of their touchdowns last week.
Right,
I think he only put up like 50-some yards, but you got
exactly a freak of nature. But Juju is playing solid, but he's not playing spectacular. He still could mess around and catch like 70 balls, 80 balls for 1,000 yards at the pace that he's going. But is he all pro? No, I didn't expect him to be all pro, but I expected him to put up good numbers. I know I'm doubling. I know I'm not doubling down because I did say he could potentially.
If I recall, you said
90 to 100 catches for 1,200 yards.
Yeah.
So he's still on pace to at least have 1,000 yards. And this is him in his first year with this offense, and he's clearly not the focal point, and he's getting scraps, and he has to fight with
not Juju
Kelsey. He's getting scraps. He is. You can't tell me he's the focal point of their passing attack. He's not. And he's a possession receiver.
I told you that. I told you that when we had this conversation on the phone.
But I base it on the fact of his quarterback. He got the Patrick Mahomes tax. Patrick Mahomes is on pace to throw 5,000 yards and 35 to 40 touchdowns.
Yeah.
Travis Kelce, as amazing as he is, he's not going to catch all 5,000 of those yards or all 40 of those touchdowns. His numbers are going to be at least 200 yards and potentially 5 touchdowns more than it would be with an inferior quarterback. That's all. I don't think there was anything wrong with what was said, and he's still showing he's still showing that he's a part of that offense. It's not like he's Allen Robinson with the Rams.
I told you.
But. Right, you did. I will give you credit where credit is due. As far as Juju is concerned, it still remains to be seen. We're in the first quarter of this NFL season, but he looks decent. He doesn't look great. I'll admit that.
Okay. All right. I haven't watched a lot of games.
Right. You conveniently had to throw that out. All right, fair enough.
Hey, I had to eat my crow on Lamar Jackson, so
that's
it's
true.
Time to be a little crowness on this show.
All right. I ate my spoonful. You happy? All right. So for the number one team, for me, it's no secret. It's the Eagles, man.
Mm-hmm.
And on all phases of the game, they look prepared to make a deep run. Does that mean that they're the Super Bowl favorites? No. Again, we're in the first quarter of the season. But on all phases, they have a power running attack that's not predicated on any running back, even though Miles Sanders is the number one guy. Right. Their offense, think of it this way. A.J. Brown hasn't even flashed number one receiver numbers yet. And they're still doing their thing.
Yeah.
Devontae Smith looks great as a number 2.
Yes.
And he's still growing. And that rapport with him and Jalen Hurts is doing well so far. Dallas Goedert doing his thing.
Mm-hmm.
But the straw that stirs this drink is Jalen Hurts. He was the question mark. And while I agree with you, his touchdown passes are a little light for somebody that's being considered an MVP candidate. But his passing yards and his situational football and his ability to make the key plays at the key moments, top notch. He's in the top 3 to 5, in my opinion, as far as current quarterback play. So with all of that being said, injuries provided, they're the number one team until someone knocks them off.
Right.
I don't know. We'll see.
Right. Well, my number one is the Buffalo Bills, just because all around, to me, Josh Allen is playing on the level that I expect him to play on. Although he's getting a lot of calls too.
Right.
But, I digress on that.
Right.
Yes, they did lose to the Miami Dolphins in bad fashion, but at the same time, division game, and we all know divisional games. Like, no matter what the record is, no matter how better the team is, at the end of the day, when records, all that go out the window.
Indeed.
Sometimes teams just show up that day.
Right.
But at the same time, Von Miller, like you said, I mean, he done earned whatever they was gonna pay him. He already done earned that. Just showing them that he turned this defense up to a whole nother level that we never seen the Buffalo Bills play on. And I just feel like right now they're the team to beat. They put up a lot of points every game. Defense, they're making a lot of stops. And I think they just have a shootout. Did they just have a shootout with a team? It was like 30, or was that the Chiefs and the that was the Chiefs and the Raiders?
That was Chiefs and the Raiders, yeah.
Chiefs
and Raiders. Yeah, Chiefs and
My
Raiders. Number 2 team. Right.
Yeah, but at the same time, the Buffalo Bills, to me, they have beat some good teams. They haven't just been capitalizing on the teams that they supposed to beat. And yeah, the Philadelphia Eagles, they got the record. I mean, right now they 6-0. Nobody has beaten them. But at the same time, I think the Buffalo Bills is the more complete team, in my opinion. They got the receiver, decent run game. Josh Allen, he's gonna run the ball as well. But the defense is going to show up every game. So for me, it's the Buffalo Bills, just because they have the better all around team thus far for me.
And it's funny you said that. Part of the reason I guess I didn't rank them higher, even though I'm not mad at the pick, is they still don't run the ball collectively well as a team.
Yeah.
They rely way too much on Josh Allen's legs.
Right.
They're not the Ravens.
Yes.
So to have him be your leading rusher is concerning for me, especially because it works now. But as the season progresses, especially in the playoffs, they're going to have to address that. So, I'm not mad at the pick.
And also, Josh Allen gets protected way more than Lamar Jackson, but he goes
absolutely
for contact every time, and I just feel like
and he's bigger.
Yeah, he's bigger and everything, and I just felt like I just saw Justin Fields take some hits that if they would have put them on Tom Brady, it wasn't like Justin Fields was scrambling around. He was taking.
No, he wasn't. He was just in the pocket.
Them in the pocket. I just felt like, but I digress on that. We already know what that is. We know what that is. And we ain't gotta keep repeating that every week. But that is something we probably need to discuss moving forward.
I'm not mad at it. It's on the docket.
But yeah, all right. So that was a good segment, man. I think we both had some solid teams in the top 10. Nobody surprisingly, I think we both kind of had the same teams, just maybe in different orders for some teams, and a lot of them we had in the same order. So if you could say who the team that's looking in but not in the top 10, who would you say?
Honorable mention. That's a good one. I'm gonna go with the Bengals.
Okay.
I'll give them honorable mention because although I don't think they're in the top 10 yet, they're very close, and I think they're figuring it out. And I think now, how did I forget their quarterback's name that quick? Goodness gracious.
Joe Burrow.
Thank you. Joe Burrow, I think he's starting to get his legs up under him. People forget he had that appendix thing that happened, so he needed some time, and I think he's getting it. Plus, T. Higgins has been injured for a large part of the season, and the defense isn't playing with the same oomph as it did last year. But all that being said, I still think that they're going to eventually challenge the Ravens for the AFC North, but I still think the AFC North is through Baltimore.
Yeah,
but that's my honorable mention team.
Yeah, I think we got the same one. The Bengals for me as well, just because I mean Jamar Chase is that guy. Joe Burrow, I love Joe Burrow now. I was always a fan of him. I always thought he would be successful in the NFL, but after learning that he's very very big on like the social issues and the women's rights and stuff like that, for me that just made me like him even more. And I also like his swag, man. That man came to the flower suit on one day, like.
Yeah, man.
He has that swagger about him. That
he's swaggy.
You just got to get behind that, man.
Swaggy. Yep.
Yeah, I like that, man. And he speaks up. So for me, but at the same time on the field, he goes out there and he proves it. And I think that if the defense ever get to a point where they can at least be a solid defense, I think the Bengals are gonna be that team that shows that they were legit last year. I think that's what they trying to prove, that we was legit. We was a legit team last year. And I think a lot of people had questions. Can they still be that team? And I think they answered that call. And I think moving forward, they're gonna probably be in my top 10 as well.
Gotcha. Like it. I'm mad at it.
Yep. So we're gonna go ahead and get to this last topic. Y'all already know what it is, man. It's our lock pick, surprise pick, and our 2 weekly game picks. So we're gonna go ahead and start off with the lock pick, man. Who you got?
So my lock pick for this week, which really shouldn't be a lock pick because they disappointed me throughout the season, but I got my Rams as a lock to beat the Panthers. That's my lock pick.
I want y'all to win that game.
I appreciate that, and I understand.
I want y'all to show
my enemy is my friend. I'm not mad at it.
Now, I hate it for Steve Wilkes because he's the interim head coach and he has to take on this clown show and try to win and just to even get a job. Exactly. But like I said, anytime black coaches get a chance, they always get put in the worst situations.
Yep, and it's never like Ty Boyles.
They got to make something out of nothing. And Ty Boyles, the team was pretty much given to him. It wasn't like he had to start from that.
Right.
The team was pretty much given to him. But I hate it for Steve Wilkes to have to take on Baker Mayfield. But at the same time, it's an opportunity. But at the same time, I just don't want to see the Carolina Panthers win. Just because they're in my division, and also I just don't want to see Baker Mayfield win because I don't want to see him get hyped up, and then they're saying, "Oh, Baker Mayfield, he's not that guy. He's trash by pseudo juice." That's what he is to me. So yeah, I definitely like that pick. But for me, my lock pick is the Baltimore Ravens over the New York Giants. It's gonna be a good game. It's gonna be a defensive game. But I just feel like Lamar Jackson to me showed that he's that guy. He's that guy. This is another opportunity for him to prove that he deserved that money, even though I feel like he shouldn't have to prove it. I think he already proved that he's worth the money. But at the same time, I understand what you were saying earlier. Maybe the Baltimore Ravens wanted, because a lot of times when those players get the money, they start, they're a different player.
Kyler Murray.
Definitely trash. But at the same time, I think Lamar Jackson will show that, hey, even against a good defense, I can go out there and do my thing. And I think he's gonna go out there and prove it once again this week to show them. So I got the Baltimore Ravens with the lock pick over the Giants.
It's funny. They're actually my surprise pick in reverse. I actually believe that Lamar Jackson will have a great game. But somehow, some way, they'll still lose to this Giants team. And I think it'll be a close one.
Right.
That's my surprise pick. I have the Giants. I have the Giants making a name for themselves at the expense of the Baltimore Ravens, but not because of Lamar Jackson's play. I don't believe it'll be a turnover by Lamar or something like that. I just think that it'll be a lower scoring game, a more defensive game. And it'll come down to who has the ball last. And although I can't stand Daniel Jones, I will give him credit in this way. He has this thing in him where he wants to win. He may not have the tools to win, but he wants to win. And I think it might come down to something like that, where it's a last-minute field goal or something like that. But that's my surprise pick.
I mean, they just did surprise Green Bay in London, so you never know. For me, my surprise pick is my Atlanta Falcons over the San Francisco 49ers. Kyle Shanahan returns to Atlanta since he lost us that Super Bowl 28-3. I want if you're a Falcon fan and you showing up to the game, I need you to boo this man. I need y'all to really give it to him. He know he did. He know he did. This and
like a scorned ex. He know what he did to me.
He know what he did to us. And after that loss, he took his plane straight to San Francisco. I think the Super Bowl was in Houston that year. I can't remember exactly where it was, but he went straight from that stadium straight to San Francisco, and he never returned to Atlanta again. And this is his first time. I think it's been 5 years later. 5 years later, here we go. So I got the Atlanta Falcons. They will be playing their throwbacks to this tomorrow. The red helmets, to me, one of the finest uniforms ever for me. But they will be playing in the throwbacks, and Kyle Shanahan will be in attendance this game. And I need us go ahead and get that dub against them. So I got the Atlanta Falcons over the San Francisco 49ers.
I'm rooting for it for obvious reasons. Go Rams. Yes, y'all suck this year.
All right, so we're gonna get to these last two games. The weekly game picks. We chose the Buffalo Bills at the Kansas City Chiefs. Hey, bro, who you got?
In Mahomes, we trust, man. Chiefs got it.
I got the Buffalo Bills. I just feel like Von Miller, all them guys gonna show up, and they're a more complete team. It's gonna be a high scoring game. Definitely gonna be a high scoring game, but I think the Chiefs defense is what's gonna be the reason why they lose that game.
Gotcha. And I think Patrick Mahomes is going to be the reason they win.
Got you. All right, then we got the last game. I think this is the game of the week. Everybody waiting to see is the Dallas Cowboys at the Philadelphia Eagles. Hey, bro, who you got?
I ain't wearing this shirt for no reason. I got the Eagles winning this one, and I think it'll be closer than people expect. But I also think it'll be more of a defensive struggle. I think this is the week where Cooper Rush has mistakes.
Yes,
turns the ball over a few times. And I also expect potentially the same thing for Jalen Hurts. But I think the Eagles have enough on all phases of the game to come out with the win. So that's my pick.
Sorry, Eagles. Sorry, Eagles. And I hate it because I hate Dallas.
All right, I think Dallas. That's my cue. I think I'm a log out right now.
But
no,
the defense of Dallas will get to Jalen Hurts. I think Cooper Rush will have a bad game, but I feel like the defense will get turnovers in this game that's going to help them win this game. And I think that's how the Dallas Cowboys are going to win. It's not going to be because of the offense of the Dallas Cowboys. And I hate the Cowboys. And I really hope I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong.
But I feel like your own people.
I feel like the Eagles will get their first loss this week. I'm sorry. Don't
All right, it's fine.
I'm sorry, Eagles fan. I know next week. If y'all win that game, go ahead and give me a call. I know y'all gonna talk. I know it. But at the same time, unfortunately, I got the Dallas Cowboys win that game due to their defense.
I dig it. I get it. But next week we'll discuss why you were wrong. It's fine.
No problem. We can definitely have
exactly, Merrick.
Exactly. You deserve to throw it in my face.
Exactly.
You do deserve to throw it in my face next week if y'all win that game. Matter of fact, I'll call you.
Thank you.
I will call you after that game to say, "Hey, bro, y'all that team."
I'm gonna hold you to that.
Y'all that team. But yeah, so hey, man, it's been a great episode. We sorry we came on late. Blame me for that. Sorry we had technical difficulties, man. It is what it is. We can't control that, but I think we still had a good show, man. We appreciate y'all support. We appreciate y'all for watching us. Appreciate y'all for just tuning in every Saturday, man. Tuning in every Saturday and joining in on the conversation. We love the interaction, so y'all keep doing what y'all doing. Shout out to Merrick Gallard. Shout out to Yusuka Knight. Those are the guys who I seen in the comment box. Merrick Gallard, he's still coming. He said, I got the Falcons beating the Niners. Hey, that was my surprise pick. Yeah. Hey, let's go. Let's go Falcons. Let's go Falcons. Going to rise up. Kyle Shanahan, you about to get your get back. That's all I'm going to say. You're going to get your get back.
Not y'all going to get y'all lick back this week.
Oh, yeah, we got to get our lick back. And none of the players, only the only players that's left on our team that was from that Super Bowl is Grady Jarrett and Jake Matthews. Yeah. Everybody else is new. We just traded Deion Jones to Cleveland immediately after the Tampa Bay game. So we only have two players that was on that team that went to that Super Bowl win. So hopefully Grady Jarrett, do his thing. And Jake Matthews, I'm gonna need for you to block a little bit better because you last week, I don't know what happened, bro. He spent off you, but we ain't gonna get into that. But yeah, definitely, man. But like I said, man, we appreciate y'all. Appreciate y'all support. Don't forget, go to YouTube right now. Subscribe to Fan of Atlanta 365, man. It's been your boy Jay Howard, Jeremy, and my boy Hassan, man. My guy Hassan with No Huddle. Yeah, hey, man, what you got for us? You take us out.
Peace, love, and harmony. Y'all be safe. Even though they broke my heart, we are Penn State. Fight on State. Let's go Eagles. Let's go Rams.
Yes, sir. Hey, don't forget, man. Tell your mama, tell your daddy, tell your sister, tell your brother, tell your dog, tell your cat, tell your snake, tell your rat, and throw in your nittly lion if you have one. Throw in one of them. And throw in your Braves because Philly's got us. Philly's got us. They got us. Peace out.
All right.
All right, bro.
All right, y'all. Be safe.